YouTubers, how are you? Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Just came on today. Instead of me doing my normal, just rambling about, my narc guy, my situation, well, not my actual situation, or just my story in general, because I kind of be all over the place. I'll be talking about, situations as they come, to my head as I remember them in that moment. So I'm going to just start talking about specific topics. And today, triangulation kind of falls on my heart to talk about because it's kind of, happened to me in the recent days. Triangulation is pretty much when the narc guy woman uses a third party to communicate through because they're a coward, especially if you've done the no contact and you've cut them off, you cut off communication, then they will, even if you haven't cut off complete communication, because they're never going to own up to things that they've done, they will always try and use a third party to get your attention, because in that sense, even if you're not speaking with them, it will, some people, if you're weak or depending on where you're at in your progress, you will possibly reach out because you will want to either say like, hey, don't contact my family member, my friend, etc. Or, what do you want? Something like that. And that's, although it's not, real positive attention, it's still attention nonetheless. And that's what they crave, that narcissistic supply. Is definitely a form of manipulation. It's when, they will contact. For an example, before I even knew what the triangulation was, it's happened to me. It's happened with my narc guy. Excuse me. It's early. It started with my narc guy even going as far as contacting my mother via social media, leaving paragraph messages saying that he missed me, missed the family, missed the kids, and, things like that, rather than sending it to me. Not that it would make a great deal, but why bring in other people in the situation? It's manipulative, because they want to get that attention out of you. So then, they still have control. It's all about control. So if they do that, and in return, you come after them, or you end up calling them or texting them to say or comment about them contacting your parent, my mother, in this instance, then that's that control. They made you reach out to them. They controlled you in that moment. And this is going to be real brief because it's kind of like to the point. It's just like that third party. When they use someone else, whether it be a family member, best friend, their friend, anybody that's that middleman that can communicate to you something for them, is a form of triangulation and manipulation. I'm here recently. My daughter's Instagram is not private, and I've been no contact for about almost 2 months. It's been actually April 8th will be 2 months and 60 days. Like I just can't wait till it's a whole year. Like I'm never going back. But anyway, he used my daughter, and this is what he do. It's so creepy how he did it. He on Instagram they have your stories or whatnot, and it's her birthday. She's celebrating her friend's birthday, and he goes and clearly he doesn't follow her anything, so he had to have typed in her name, or even just like went through the process of either finding her or just clicking on her page for whatever reason. Like, what is the point, and then to click on her stories, and one day, she's just checking to see who watched her story, and there's his name, so she tells me about it. So I'm just like, okay, like, that's so weird. Like, he just need to go away, and I guess she wants her page, not private. So she didn't make it private instead. So he, like another day or so went by, and, this Friday passed, like he pops up looking at her videos again, like her and her friends are out of town enjoying themselves, and his Lord behold, his his name pops up on her people who watched her video again. So she decided to go ahead and block her, and I block him, excuse me. And I definitely 100 agree. Like, I wasn't going to tell her what to do with her page because he didn't say anything, but I was going to let her fill it out, and she did block him, and that's good enough because that was just creepy, especially, if you're not even saying anything. Like I mentioned before, like, I still have belongings at his house. So if he was trying to say, if he was leaving a message saying like, hey, tell your mom come get her things, and so on, like, that would make more sense than you just popping up every couple days watching my daughter's videos. And again, that's only to get attention because I don't play about my kids. So in return, he's hoping that I call him, text him, communicate with him in some way to say like, hey, leave my fucking daughter alone, don't go watch her videos, and so on. But I can't do that. I just can't. Like, I can't give him that attention. I had a really, really crazy day yesterday. I was leaving my mom's house. Now, granted, like, he doesn't stay far from my mom's house. And what are the odds that we pull up into, like, a shopping center parking lot at the same time where I end up directly behind him, coming in and leaving out? Because I was coming in to pick up something really quick. And I had the anxiety just filled my whole body. Like, it really did. And I can't even really describe the feeling. It just filled my whole body for about 10 minutes, on the way home. But, I talked about it with some people, and I kind of, I got through it, and I won't say that I was scared, but it's just that I don't want to see him again. Like, his energy is toxic. It's like, he's a toxic person, and his energy is toxic. He sucks my energy, he depletes me, and it was just, I didn't want to be in that close vicinity with him. But we don't live far from each other, so it's possible that it can happen again. But as long as I continue to do my work, and get grounded, and and get through this day by day, it's gonna be okay. That was the first time. I didn't expect to see him. It was totally off guard, and it happened. It is over with. I know in return he thinks that I'm going to say something, and it's going to be, it's going to make him look stupid because I know who I'm dealing with, and I know the type of person that he is now, and he thinks that I'm going to say something to him. Because when I saw him, I saw where he was going, and he was going to, one of his faithfuls, one of his loyals, one of the, the women that he cheated on me with many times. Like, he doesn't know that I know where this woman lives, but I do. And I just know from from the other woman that he cheated with me on. She knows, you know what I mean? So she told me when we had a brief conversation. And so I just always knew that area and where it is that she stayed. Never been there. Never have a reason to. I don't do all that stalking. I'm not, a childish woman in that way, but I knew who lived down that street, and it's just weird that I see him and that's where he's going, so it was just like, for a moment I had that feeling of, I'm here and I'm doing the process and I'm, getting through this day by day. And, you just moved on and you just, went and picked up your regular and you're having fun. But at the end of the day, he's not going to be happy. He's a miserable ass person. And I'm going to do my work and I'm going to get happier and happier, within myself. I'm going to attract positive, healthy love. And, that's just to it, while he's going to sit there, still be, doing that circle dance with these same women, manipulating them, and if that's something, I've told these women, put some truth on them and told them things, but if that's something that they want to go through, despite of what they already know, then I'm more power to them, and I wish them the best. I pray that they don't get out when it's too late. I pray that it doesn't drag them, so far that it's so hard to get out of, because where I am, I'm thinking, I don't feel like it's hard to get out of, but it's a process and it's a journey. And, I just pray that, they get out in time where they can still have their peace of mind, because narcissistic abuse is real, and it's abuse. That person may not be putting hands on you, but it is abuse. And, it's a process to get over once you decide to leave it. And I hope they have that strength when that time comes, if it comes, to do that, to, do that process and become a healthier woman. Because right now they're feeling they so filled up with toxic, being around him. And so was I when I was around him. But I'm no longer. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that strength to get out of that situation. But I hope you guys, got a general idea of what triangulation is. It's a manipulation. It's using a third party person to communicate with said person, with that main person. And, being very cowardly. Let's not forget that word. Very cowardly. That person possibly will never, come to you and say, hey, I'm wrong, and if that is part of the hoovering. And we'll talk about that topic later, when they love bomb and hoover you. That will be another topic. But, I hope you guys listen and, comment and give me your feedback. Tell me about times when you were in a triangulation situation with your narc person. Subscribe to my channel. I know it's growing slowly, and I have faith. Like I'm gonna have a big following, because that's just the faith that I have. It's moving slow, and I'm not posting as often, but I will. And I'm just trying to get a feel of all of this, like posting and editing, and I want, my page to look nice. So again, subscribe, give me some feedback, things like that. And until next time, don't be triangulated by anybody. Don't answer any third parties that your narc person sent. If possible, tell them, to no longer accept messages, block them, do whatever it takes. Just, don't do it. Don't fall into that trap, because it's a trap for your attention, for them to gain narcissistic supply, which they crave, they need, they eat, live, breathe it, like they need it to live. They're miserable ass people. All right. Until next time, YouTubers. Talk to you later.